poor baby is going to live all her life taking a lot of medications. When you see the medications they have to take daily, So some of the STIs we can't treat, but others like HIV, we can only manage. Last year, my mom told me about a church member, and the symptoms she was giving me, I told her to go and have a pap smear. Initially, she told me that her husband has been sleeping around. So we did the initial test, everything was fine. Then I said she should have a pap smear. When she did the pap smear, it came out that she was at stage 1 cervical cancer. It means the husband had contracted HPV, that's human papilloma virus, elsewhere, had slept with her, and now she has it. When you screen early and it's found out early, we are able to treat it. So the woman is fine now. But then I'm imagining, if she did not tell my mom, and if my mom didn't tell me, in court say, or say, menya white so she's been treating it and be treating it and be treating it. And she's still just like that. So when she went to test for it, she realized that she is at stage 1 cervical cancer, and there was treatment for it. So she is fine. My time is almost up. All what I am trying to say this morning is that the youth are having sex. As a Christian and as a medical doctor, I will tell you, abstinence is very, very, very possible. Obi Becca said, abstaining from sex, I'll be Jimmy. I don't know, say me Jimmy. I did it for 31 years, and I don't think I look Jimmy. Maybe, Anna, I don't think so. So it's possible. 31 years, I was chaste. Now, moving from the A, the B is you are married, be faithful. It is possible. Now, the C is more to our youth. Do not have sex without protecting yourself. So this was just an overview and encouragement to tell you that STI. A lot of us don't look like that, but obi wo. There's nothing written on the person's forehead, Anani baby, say or STI. And you might only find out days later. So insist. Thank God we are in the month of March. For the women empowerment. Insist. Do not have sex without protection. Insist. Vagina is part of the body. It is your vagina. Protect it. It's your penis. Now the abstinence is not just to the women. It's to the men as well. It's your vagina. It's your penis. Decide where it goes and decide what comes to it. When you get sick, I just want to add this before I finish my talk. And when you are treating for a sexually transmitted infection, it's not just for you. It's for the person you had sex with as well. Because think about this. So I have an STI. I get treated. I go home. After some days, I have sex with my husband. Because we're having sex already, he has the STI, but it's not showing. So I'm treated and I go to have sex with him again. I get it again. Then what was the use of the treatment? So Uber Hospital, and we tell you I have an STI. Be kind enough, be human enough to go to the person that you had sex with and tell the person, I was diagnosed with gonorrhea. I was diagnosed with syphilis. This is the medication I'm taking. Let's go to the hospital. You too, test for it some. Treated. And then from there on, you can decide on what you want to do with your relationship. Thank you for having me. I'm stepping down and I'm still repeating it. Abstinence is possible. I did it for 31 years. It's very possible. Staying faithful is possible. And please do not forget to use a condom anytime you have sex. Thank you very much.
Well, let's do it one more time for Dr. Saki. We such a wonderful talk, and I believe that we have taken something home, and it's going to influence our choices. Are you here? All right, so we want to kick the ball rolling, and we have a very wonderful gentleman who is very, very talented on the sax, and we want to put our hands together as we welcome Sax Bossa. Put your hands together as we welcome him.
very boring. Shout it, I will. I can't hear you. Shout it, I will, I can, and I must. All right. In the next 2 minutes, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to get up and locate 5 people. Introduce yourself to them. Take their number. If you think they are nice looking, you can propose to them and you can take them for a date. So I want you to rise onto your feet. In the next 5 minutes, 2 minutes, I want you to go make a new friend. Get up, everybody. If you're online, just hit somebody right now in their inbox and make a new friend. Quickly, right now. Don't be boring, please. I want you to get up, everybody. Go make a new friend. We just took off. I know it's a Wednesday morning. It's a busy morning, but you've showed up. I want you to get up. Some people are still, just take somebody's number. Take somebody's number right now. Nana, we knew Miami, Wawa Bebre. Iradi Wutia, Uye Nyame. Debia, Uye Nyame, Ane, Zentina, Utongo, Nawana. Debia, Uya Kessa. I guess it's some more Vata won't go on. When you be with your Uya Kessa, Obiara to me, was Segura. A body in and your coma, me and Coponcoa. Of Fata, Akaza. Wine Koran, a bet to me, no, up the wine here. Namisera Dian Coponi, eh? Osumadi, Nana and Nazi, come with it. Otoma, Toma, oh, she ran come with it. Otoma, Nana Mikutu, the sorry one. Otoma, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yami Benkura, never to me new, et yes, yeah. Ah, to me Benkura, never to me new, Ayawa, Wajuma. Ah, what do man kuma, eh? What do man kuma? To me Benkura, never to me new, Ayawa, Wajuma. Yeni penny na da wo, yeni na radawa. And one of my sudan wo, apoti yeni na. Yeah, so we yami yakawa bambu. Now the Cadia from Santo Mano. Oh, we are Juma. What to be at Yena? If you pay me, I would acro. Now say yes, I will hope up. Sentinel throw Bokrobotie. To him the scene in Yame, the open out, we are Yame, Precope. Namisa Radin and Cope on the day. Also, I did Nana and I sing, come with dinner. Otoma, come on. Otoma, Toma, Nana me good to be sorry. Otoma, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Some people's number, come on. Say how much you know. Your best was so no. Ayana sorry to know. Ayana mania to know. Who been no matter upon me? That's what to me I was she. I put what you have for you. That's what to me Kawuda. Yes, you need more. Abusua, Abun somebody who be the see. Obama wako social mo. Nasuma wako man he. Son of the Daniel. Or the Daniel go to Jatabu mo. Why would shake Jata? When I'm not command you won't. Sir Ori Daniel. Sir Oku Daniel. You may be seated. You may be seated. Listen, thank you. Clap your hands, somebody. I'd say some people have taken a pen and paper and they are getting every detail. Their number, Facebook, details, address, house number, everything. Please, let's take our seat. Let's take our seat. Clap your hands once again. Clap your hands once again. I want us to appreciate our online viewers. Please, let's clap our hands for them. We appreciate you, those joining us from Facebook, YouTube. Thank you so much. All right. This is the first day, this is the first morning of the International Youth Empowerment Summit. This is the 8th anniversary. And this is a platform that we've created to inspire, to empower, and to inform every young not just Ghanaian young person. And for the past 8 years, God has been so good. We've not just heard, we've seen testimonies. And throughout the sessions, we are going to play some of the testimonies to you. And I know that somebody will be imparted, will be inspired this morning. Lift your hand, shout, I will. I can't hear you. Shout, I will. I still can't hear you. Shout, I will, I can, and I must. All right. We want to appreciate our host for this whole session. We have the beautiful Rosalind Felly from Joy Prime Multimedia. Let's clap our hands for, and the one and only KMJ. Clap your hands for KMJ. God bless you. Thank you so much. Amen. Amen. All right. So I just want to go on quickly. We've been having this conference in National Theatre, but the place got too small for us. So we came to the UPSA campus, which is in the Medina constituency. And we have the member of parliament for Medina constituency in the house to give us the official welcome. Please clap your hands well. Don't be boring. I'm not about to read your profile. I'm not about to read your profile. So please just stand here and let me read your, okay. So, Honorable Francis Xavier Kojo Soso is a human rights lawyer and activist, a Christian leader, and currently the second vice president of the United Nations Association of Ghana, also named as the 2021 Timothy Boys African Human Rights Leadership Award recipient. Has over 10 years experience as a human rights lawyer and activist, and had earned his place as the foremost human rights lawyer currently in Ghana. He is a member of the Ghana Bar Association, Africa Bar Association, International Association of People's Lawyers, Lawyers Without Borders, Canada, and so on. But thank you for welcoming us to your constituents. Please give it up and let's welcome the Member of Parliament. Thank you.
That was awesome. I must say that I'm often not used to listening to very long profiles, about myself because, like Paul, I consider all these as, each day I try to do a golden deed, and I often, was it last week, I did a quick post on Facebook. People kept calling me and were like, are you bidding us farewell? Are you leaving us, or is something happening? I said, no, but on a daily basis, we must live as though we have 24 hours, because that is the beginning of impact. And what I shared on Facebook was, each day I do a golden deed by helping those who are in need. My life on earth is but a span, and so I'll do the best I can. Life evening sun is sinking low. A few more days, and I must go to meet the deeds that I have done, where there will be no setting sun. Ladies and gentlemen, we must live each day as though it is the only day we have. It is based on this inspiration that I want to officially welcome each and everyone to the Medina constituency. And I want to say a very big thank you to Prophet Brian Amwatin for this opportunity to be part of this great event that we need at this time and at this age. I celebrated my 43rd birthday and 11th wedding anniversary this year at Kumasi last month. And I was in Kumasi for a wedding ceremony. And on the 13th of February, I was returning back to Accra and decided to wash my car at Ejisu. So whilst at Ejisu, I met a young guy who came and hurriedly cleaned the car. And just when I was about leaving, there was another guy who came in who works with audit service. So he made me out and said, Honorable Susu, it is nice meeting you here. As soon as the young guy heard that remark, he turned to me and said, oh, Honorable, so we are member of parliament here, Mamin Kamasem Enchro. To wit, if you're a member of parliament, let me tell you my story. And I'm saying, so, what is the issue? So he said, I am 32 years old, and I'm the first of family of 10. I completed University of Education and obtained second class honors in environmental science in 2019. And I did my national service with Foods and Drugs Board. But since then, Honorable, life has become so unbearable. I am unable to get a job. And because of that, I had to return back to Effigiasi in the new Dwabin municipality. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a graduate with second class upper, with no job, living with his old parents in a village with 9 other siblings. Life was so unbearable that he had to resort to what is popularly known as car wash, so he can make 20 Ghana cedis a day to be able to survive. So I asked him, so where are your siblings and what are they doing? He said, even if me, I have finished the university with a second class and yet with no job, Honorable, nothing can be said of them. Everyone in the family is almost destroyed. This is the story of young J. Odro Isaac. And I invited him to be part of today's event. Unfortunately, he's not gotten here yet, but he's from Kumasi and will be part of this year's iYES. Because I believe that through a forum like this, he is likely to find new inspiration to redefine his life. Ladies and gentlemen, stories like this are the realities of Ghana today. Whilst I admit that part of the reasons for non-existence of job is leadership failure in Africa, because successive governments in Africa, and for that matter in Ghana, have failed to make the requisite investment in the productive sector, service sector, agriculture sector, and also failed to create the needed environment for the survival and participation of private businesses that have the potential of churning out the needed jobs, I also believe that there is a clear disconnect between the job market and the kind of training our young graduates undergo today in Ghana. And not until we are able to find the balance, the situation is not likely to change in the foreseeable future. But I believe, again, that occasions like this gives us the opportunity not to only think outside the box, but must begin to think as though there is no box at all. It is enough to continue thinking outside the box. We've gotten to a position where we must go beyond boxes. We don't need to think like there is even a box anymore. And that is what I believe this event is going to present us. The question is, if you look at all the challenges that we have in our society today, who do we blame? It is so easy to lay blames. And many times, every individual, and including most young people, believe that the world owes us something. And we owe the world nothing. And so most often than not, it is so easy to blame your math teacher for failure in maths. It's so easy to blame your English teacher for failure in English. It's so easy to blame your parents as the reasons why your life did not meet the kind of, opportunities or the kind of life you desire for yourself. But it is time for us to take personal obligation of our life. Where society fails us, we don't need to fail ourselves. Where we see darkness, we must be the light. Where there is negativity, we must bring positive energy. Where there is despair, we must be a shining hope. It is against this background that I consider this year's theme as very apt and appropriate. The theme for this year's event is not only apt and appropriate, but also timely, considering the current challenges we face as a people. The devastating effect of COVID-19 pandemic has further exacerbated the twin challenges of unemployment and economic hardship, which has already been experienced by the youth in Ghana. Indeed, before COVID-19 pandemic, unemployment was on a high, inflation was on a rise, interest rates had entered double digits, and the economy was in a decline, resulting in high cost of living, leading to reduced standard of living. As we speak today, the 2021 population and housing census conducted by the Ghana Statistical Service shows that Ghana's population has increased from 24,658,823 in 2010 to 30,832,019 in 2021. With the current rate of unemployment being 13.4%. In nominal terms, this 13.9% represents 1.55 million people who are economically active and yet do not have jobs. The age categorization of this population shows that between the ages of 15 and 24 years, who are unemployed stands at 32.8%. Now, in nominal terms, we are saying that about 10.1 million young people in Ghana who are ready to work but do not have jobs. That is how bad our situation is as a people. This situation, according to our national security strategy document, makes the issue of youth unemployment a national security concern. This is because no nation can fully guarantee its continuous stability when majorities of its young people are living in hopelessness. That is the reason why the first solution is a mind shift. It is a mind shift. Are you ready to shift your mind? Oh no, I can't hear you. Are you ready to shift your mind? Are you ready to shift your mind? I believe that our leaders must shift their mind. Our leaders must do what? No, I can't hear you. I said our leaders must do what? Our teachers must do what? Public servants must do what? Lecturers must do what? Taxi drivers must do what? Lawyers must do what? Judges must do what? Police officers must do what? We need a mind shift as a people if anything is going to change in this country. For those of us in leadership, this means to break away from the regular way of doing things. I believe that all the issues we see as problems are also opportunities for us to do new things. For me personally, in Medina, I was inspired by this approach of mind shifting to use all the challenges that we have as an opportunity to start new ways of doing things. And I believe that that is the reason why a lot of people today can resort to the Medina story and see the number of things that have happened in Medina. In about 15 months of my work as a member of parliament, many can attest to the major interventions in Medina and in parliament because I decided to think normally. I decided to be abnormal in my thinking. I didn't want to think the way everyone else is thinking. And you must understand that anytime you decide to shift your mind, it comes with some very strong cost, difficulties, challenges. So you must be willing to develop a mind-shifting approach to solving your problem. Together with my governance structure, I set up in my office, I introduced what we call the Medina Job Center. Now, the Medina Job Center, we have the CEO of Medina Job Center in the house. Now, if you can give us a shout out, just give her a hi. Yes. Yes, Miss Blanche. They've done so well because in less than 1 year of the introduction of Medina Job Center, we have connected over 3,500 people to jobs in Medina. At the time, everyone is saying it is impossible. Now, the Medina Job Center created various models, such as the youth in fashion, youth in hairdressing, youth in mushroom farming, youth in website development, among many others. We launched the Medina Trade Fair and Christmas Carnival to provide a platform for local entrepreneurs and small-scale industry to exhibit their products and boost the local economy of Medina. In our effort to achieve quality education, we launched the Basic School Library Project, MP's Education Scholarship Fund, and introduced the Service Above Self Best Teacher Award, which coincidentally was sponsored by the Samson Amwati Foundation. Let's give it up to Samson Amwati Foundation. Where in the history of Ghana, the best teacher of a constituency walks home with a car. It takes a mind-shifting approach to make these things happen. In health, I introduced a health project which reached out to several constituents and set up the health fund to support constituents with their health needs that are beyond their means. My biggest goal, and this is the biggest mind-shifting opportunity that I'm looking forward to, is to set up 1,000-bed capacity children's hospital in Damfa. Many would say, no, he's crazy. I mean, you are MP. Where will he get the money? It takes mind-shifting approach. Look, already we've been in touch with diplomatic community, philanthropists. The eminent chief of Damfa has already donated 10 acres land to build that 1,000-bed capacity hospital. So, the biggest challenge we have in our country, in our leadership, is our inability to think differently about situations. Ladies and gentlemen, over the weekend, I launched the Sosu Sports Development Project, We saw the attendance of the former Black Stars players and coaches in the bid to use sports as a tool for community development. Back in Parliament, to ensure a fair, equal, and inclusive society, together with some colleagues, we introduced 4 new bills in Parliament. One, to substitute for death penalty, life imprisonment, ensure compensation for persons wrongfully arrested, detained, and incarcerated, amend the Legal Professions Act to open up legal education and to review the functions of the General Legal Council, and to prohibit practice and labeling of persons as witches, as we know in our various communities. By far, this is the first time you would have a first-time member of Parliament introducing this number of innovation. And ladies and gentlemen, the tool is mind shifting. So this is a conference you don't need to toy with. You want to follow every single session until it comes to an end, because you will find the inspiration to be the genius, the champion that you really deserve to be. Ladies and gentlemen, if I look at my journey growing up as a child, born into a family where you have a mother who is a victim of slavery, a dad who is a victim of alcoholism, and you have siblings that had difficulties with our childhood. Our very firstborn was blind. She was not born blind. She only had measles. And because my parents did not understand her condition, she became blind. And you have a secondborn dropping out of school. And I have to be the thirdborn. And going through life meant that I needed to survive on the street. On the streets of Accra, I pushed trucks. I carried loads. I was like a common kayayu. I remember when I was at St. John's Grammar School, even when I was a senior boys prefect, sometimes I would walk from Alajo Junction all the way to, you walk from Kotobabi to Alajo Junction, and just to beg for money to go to school. That was how bad it was. It got to a time when I'll be selling refresh. Now we don't have refresh. It's like Calipo. Yes. I used to sell refresh on the graphic road. And when I see my colleagues coming from school, I would dodge them. When they pass, then I resurface. Because I was battling with a very low self-image at that material time. Things were practically difficult. But if you are able to move from the street to an orphanage, and from an orphanage to the bar, from the Ghana bar to the Parliament of Ghana, what more can you not do? Ladies and gentlemen, so I look into the future believing that the only guarantee to break away from the past that may be holding you down is to shift your mind. This morning, as I bring my welcome address to an end, the short welcome address to an end, let me make a proposal of the first thing you need to shift your mind on. And that is about self-belief. In the middle of all the difficulties that I found myself in, trust me, many people didn't believe in me. But I believed myself. Oh, say, I believe myself. Yeah, say, I believe myself. And friends, it doesn't matter what they think about you. It doesn't matter what they believe about you. You see, coming from the kind of background I was coming from, when you look at me, you see, you will not be the very nicely dressed student with your, school uniform well pressed, and you see, prim and proper student. No, we were ghetto students. When we are coming, you can see that these are the ghetto boys coming. So when they look at you, they know what can come out. Nothing can come out of you. And I remember very well that when I got to St. John's Grammar School, I asked her, why is it that all the senior boys prefects, they are all well pressed? Their uniforms, everything is on point. I said, well, If it is only the rich that can never become senior boys prefect, I want to be the fair poor person to break the link. You know, that one, it wasn't the 8 we were breaking. We're breaking something so that I can become the senior boys prefect. And guess what? At the final year, not only did I become the senior boys prefect at St. John's Grammar School, I was also the SRC president for Greater Accra Zone 5. So young children here, please believe. And self-belief does not mean that you are not going to have challenges. You will. You will have challenges. Look, I recall very well that at the junior high school, I stood for SRC secretary for Zone 5, and I lost. Because at that time, people didn't believe in my ability. They didn't believe I could do it. In 2004, in Legon, I stood for SRC president. I lost. I lost because they didn't believe. Legon, I lost. When I was doing law, I was a class captain for my law class. In the second year, we had the opportunity to contest for the law student president. When I contested, I lost. Because my colleagues in this class, they like me as a class rep, the boy, but they don't like the position. So I lost. When we got to Makola, Ghana School of Law, I stood for the Ghana School of Law presidency. I lost again. Yeah, so losing is part. When I first came to Medina constituency to contest, in 2015, it was a fierce battle, but I lost. Losing is part. But the more I lost, the more I was fortified. Each time I go down, I tell myself, hey, rise up. You are more than the losing. And every day I picked myself and I moved forward. I remember when my colleagues and I lost the presidency at the law school, I came up with a quote. The quote was, I said, look, people will not always believe what you believe. It is okay. But if you continue to believe what you believe, and you fight for what you believe, you stand for what you believe, you work for what you believe, someday they will believe what you believe. Someday. So never give up. Thank you for this platform. It is a great platform. Never give up. It doesn't matter what they are thinking. That is why someone said, if I can see it, then I can be. If I just believe it. Come on. There's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Man. Welcome to Medina and welcome to the 2022 iYES. I believe that we will rise together and we will shift our mind. Thank you very much. God bless you. You are most welcome.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Do you believe you can fly? Do you believe you can fly? If you do believe you can fly, put your hands together and shout, I will, I can, I must. Thank you so much, Honorable. God bless you. He has lost a lot too. Losing. Somebody has lost like twice. The person is angry. I'm going to kill myself. You go and meet God. Losing. You've lost only twice. And you are blaming your parents, your friends, your family. You're blaming everybody around you. You've not seen anything yet. But the good thing is that you're going to get there. No matter what, you're going to get there. And this morning we've been blessed by the Honorable. I think we've all learned a lot from this. God bless you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all once again to iYES 2022. I want to believe you're ready for the 3 days that we'll be embarking on this journey. Are you ready for the 3 days? Are you ready for the 3 days? Okay, if you're ready, then let's begin with something quite magical. This man I'm just about introducing is a magic. Oh, you didn't say amen to that? He's actually magic, right? He's magic. And when he's on stage, it comes with nothing but magic. And this morning, we're blessed to have him here in our midst. He's one of God's finest when it comes to worshiping, praising, and doing everything that glorifies the Almighty. Now we're getting there. I think I like the vibe now. Ladies and gentlemen, you ready? Please put your hands together for the one and only Pastor Kofi.
You can't stop clapping. Go ahead, jam it together. Go ahead and jam it together. You can add your voice to it. You can add your voice to it. If you feel like jumping, jump out. Don't sit there. Don't sit there. They can't stop you from shouting. They can't put you in marks and stop you from praising God. You want to shout. You want to shout. You want to shout. You want to run. Oh man, somebody is still at the same spot. Somebody is still at the same spot. You want to move out of your chair. 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 Shake your neighbor. Shake your neighbor. Shake your neighbor. Say neighbor. Say neighbor. Neighbor. I'm on fire. I don't know about you. Your neighbor is too gentle. Change to another neighbor. Change to another neighbor. Change to another person. Move on to another person. Say, neighbor, are you on fire? Oh man, move to another person. Move to another. Shake, 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 shake. Shake your neighbor. And say to your neighbor, I am on fire. I am on fire. Speak to your neighbor, say to your neighbor, I am on fire. I am on. Can we go? I am on fire. I am. Say to your neighbor, I am. When the roof is on fire. The roof is on fire. The roof. Are you ready? The roof. Let's this one. Raise more pace. Raise more pace. Raise it. Raise your hands. Let's go. The roof.
The roof is on fire. The roof. Ask your neighbor, is your mind it's already shifting? Is your mind shifting? Ask your neighbor, is it shifting? Is it shifting? Is it shifting? Hold your neighbor like that. Is it shifting? I am on fire. I am on fire. I am. Fire. The roof is on fire. The roof is on fire. The roof. Raise your hands up here. Let's go. The roof. Raise it. Let's here. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. The roof. Come on. Are you ready? No. The roof. Let me see your hands. With it. Scream. iYES is on fire. 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 I can hear your voice. I can hear you. Place your hand on the shoulder of the next person like that. Place your hand on the shoulder. Our minds are going to be shifted right now. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, let's go. Are you ready? 1. You are the reason why I lift my hands, why I lift my voice, why I sing to you. You are the reason I'm alive today. I am here to say, I want you to blast your voice out of our mouth. Let's go. You are. Let it out. Why sing to you? Lift your voice, lift your hands and say, you are the reason I'm alive today. I am here to say, it's all because of you. You want to shout it again? You lift your hands wherever you are. Why sing to you? You are the reason. I am here. It's all because for you. Lift your voice. You are the reason. You are. You are. Lift your voice. Lift your voice. You are the reason. Yes, 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 sir. You are. You are. You are. You are the reason. Tossing crowns, lifting hands, bowing heart. It's all we've come to do. I don't know why you're here this morning, but cast on ground, lifting hands, bowing heart. It's all we've come to do. Casting on ground, lifting hands, bowing heart. It's all. Casting on ground, left hand, bowing heart. It's all. Lift your hands. We will rise. Prophesy. Your life will never be the same. We will rise. You are rising to the next level. Your mind is already shifted. And you're rising to the next level. You're rising to the next level. You want to prophesy and come. We will. You are rising. You are rising. Raise your hands and say, we will. You want to prophesy on yourself. You want to prophesy. We will rise. Adonai. You reign. Raise your hands and say, I will rise. Now when you bring your hands down, you are going down. But when you lift your hands up, you are rising with him. Are you ready? Are you ready? I will rise. You want to prophesy? I will rise. I will rise. Adonai. Are you ready now? Are you ready now? Are you ready? You want to push it? 1, 2, everyone, let's go. I will push it. Push it. Push it. I will
There is only one name. There is only one name with power to save. You believe what I'm saying? With power to save. Let me see that finger. If you believe in God, you would have shouted out. There is only one name with power to save. This is your song. With power to save. You need a Savior. And every knee will bow down at the mention of His name. Every knee, sigh. Every knee will bow down. Every tongue say. Every tongue will confess. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You alone. Every knee will bow down at the mention of Your name. Every knee will bow down. Say. Every knee will bow down. Every tongue will confess. Every tongue will confess. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Raise your hands this way. Raise your hands. Surrender. And this is what I want you to sing. You want to raise your hands and push it this way. Shift now, change be. Follow the same page. Holy, now, the heavens are open. Are you ready? Are you ready? Atmospheres. Do it now. Holy Spirit, come down, heaven over. Greetings to the Most High God. I want to do why I'm here. Prophet Brian wants me to do this song. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. Is that okay? Are you ready? How many of you know that you have Jesus and you feel all right? You have Jesus and you feel all right? No. I can hear you. Talk to your neighbor. You have Jesus. Talk to your neighbor. You have Jesus. I've been going around the world trying to find a Savior. A Savior. Let me teach you. It's very simple. I've got you, Jesus. You make me feel alright. I've got you, Jesus. You make me feel. That's all. Can I hear you? Now, take your phone. Take your phone. You're going to do some selfie right now. A year by this time when you're coming for a mind shift, you'll be coming in a different kind of sound. So you want to watch yourself and sing to yourself and keep the video for next year. Take your phone. You want to sing it? I've got you. Sing it. I've got you, Jesus. You make. Sing it like you mean it. I've got you. I've got you. I've been going around the world trying to find a Savior that will save me from resistance. Yeah. I've been going around, Ghana, Jamaica, America,
Africa, everywhere. All the bad. All the bad things I used to do in the world led me to my distractions. All the women, all the drink, all the bad. You know the bad. You know the bad. You know what you do, bad. All the mama things I used to do led me to my destructions. All the crazy things I used to do in the world led me to my destructions. Now that I found Jesus, I ain't gonna look no further. Now that I found Jesus, I ain't gonna look no further. Now that I found Jesus, I ain't gonna look. Reggae, hey, where's your hands? Hey, it's so nice you saved me. So nice, so nice, so nice, so nice. I love you, Jesus. I've got you, Jesus. You make me feel. Push it up. I've got you, Jesus. Push it up. You make me feel alright. Push it up. Push it up. Everybody push it. You make me feel alright. I've got you. I've got you. You make me feel. You make me feel alright. I've got you. I've got you. You make me feel alright. I want 10 strong men to come. I want 10 strong men. Man-shifting men. Come to me right now. I want 10 strong men. And man-shifting. I know Jay will not come. Thank you. Climb the stage. I know Jay will not come. I broke his leg one day. Man-shifting men. Place your hand on the shoulder like that. You know what we are doing? We are connected to each other. As that mind shifts, it will shift to the side. It will shift to the side. It will shift to the side. It will shift and shift and shift and shift. So connect. Hey, Jay. Jay. Okay. Place your hand on the shoulder like that. Jay, please come. Place your hand on the shoulder. Are you ready?
And that's about it for today. That's a beautiful performance for Pastor Kofi. Thank you so much, Pastor Kofi. Thank you.
I've got you, Jesus. You make me feel.
Of course, we have Jesus. He deserves another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Kofi. It feels good to be here, to see every young person gathered here. Now, there's one conversation that I was having today, and it's about the generation, the future. Unfortunately, social media is making some people feel it's easy to make it, but it's not.
You need to go through that journey to make it. And so I say a very big congratulations to the team who have put this together, especially Pastor Brian. Let's show him some love. We know our future is bright in the hands of Pastor Brian, and we need many more men like him. It's time for us to call on our first speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, this woman has made her mark in communications, politics, and entrepreneurship. Before working at NYA, she held communications and digital branding as the Deputy Director of Communications for the First Lady, that's Madame Rebecca Ekufu-Addo, and led marketing campaign expansions for multinational corporations such as Max International. Excellence Awards as the most influential young politician in Ghana. Oh, wow. She got the most influential politician in Ghana. Please give it up for her once again. Thanks to her style of communication as well as leading a vibrant, impactful campaign in 2020, she is committed to supporting hardworking young girls to realize their potential. She is an alumnus of Wesley Girls High School and the University of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about this woman who is the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of NYA, Madame Cozy Mainu, Akosia Mainu, that's her name. Let's show her some love as she walks up stage. Please give it up to her, you can do it better.
Wow. I think with all the jumping we've done already, we can end the conference because our minds have already physically shifted, right? It's an honor to be here, standing on existing protocols. Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thankful for the opportunity today because of the people here in the room today. There are a lot of young people here, and what I'm going to share this morning is something I wish I had heard or known earlier. Now, my speech is going to focus on harnessing the power of the untapped mind. Harnessing the power of the untapped mind, and is definitely linked to the theme for this morning, mind shift. I'm going to ask a few questions every now and then, so be on the alert. I'll randomly call you. Let's see if our minds are shifting already. Now, in 2021, a group of very smart people got together to answer a simple question: what will the world look like in 2071? So in 2021, smart people got gathered and asked the question, what will the world look like in 2071? Have you thought of that question before? Have you wondered what it's going to be like? Now, 50 years from now, how would communication, energy sustainability, climate conflict, the world of fashion, entertainment, tech, and everything else look like? What's it going to look like? We're expected to have a merger between our physical reality and virtual reality. You've all heard of the metaverse, right? Facebook's transformation. Now, organic food is going to be a luxury. Organic food, the watcher you love to eat. That's organic, right? It's going to be a luxury in the next couple of years. And automation is going to wipe away jobs. We're already experiencing it. A couple of years ago, I used to work in a bank. All the processes that human beings would do were taken over by computers. The transformation has begun. The question is, are we ready? Now, artificial intelligence will take a quantum leap in its growth and advancement in ways unimaginable. Now, as we're here, you know there are some hotels that use robots for service. So it means they don't need human beings. So people are going to school, hospitality industry, guess what? Just in a couple of years, they're going to be out of jobs. And this is fast advancing in developed countries. The next 50 years is going to see the biggest cultural and technological shift. As we speak, there's a sort of fixation on preserving human life. We call it cryopreserve, where millionaires want to preserve themselves and not die and wake up decades from now. Are we aware of that? I think it would be very sad if you did this a couple of years ago, only to wake up and there was COVID and COVID kills you, right? So there's an obsession with wanting to see what the future looks like. It's guaranteed that 60% of the people in this room will definitely see that change, that enough young people here who will see this transformation happen in the next 50 years. For those who will live through it, there are going to be adaptations. You'd have to evolve quickly with the times and how it's going to change. Now, here's a catch. All the future being created originates from something we all have. And what's that thing? The human mind. What is the mind of Mark Zuckerberg that propels him to invest in the metaverse when Facebook is doing so well? Facebook has made more money that if he should come back to the world 5 times over, he can't spend his money fast enough. But he's thinking future. We have the mind of Ada Lovelace, who shot for the heights of putting together the world's first computer algorithm. What about a young Ghanaian lady, Ivy Barley, who is pushing to get more black women into the corridors of KNUST? Into the corridors of tech. I understand she actually went to KNUST, sold Sobolo in the halls, and currently works at Microsoft. An opportunity that most people would love to have. Now, one clear distinction between those who actually change the world and everyone else is what I'm going to speak about shortly, harnessing the power of the untapped mind. Are you willing to shift? We are looking at a momentous mind shift at this year's iYES, and we must ask ourselves the simple questions. How far will we go to assess our minds to make that willingness to shift? Now, what is the level of mental discomfort we are willing to undergo? We love to see successful people. We love to hear stories of successful people. I often say that in Ghana, we don't transfer knowledge enough. So, for instance, I'm a female politician. How many books are there on female politicians for me to read and to follow in their footsteps? You have conversations with some of them and they say, we can sit down and have a conversation, but I don't want to write a book. But the question is, books transcend. So you could be gone for years, but people would follow the footprints of the wisdom you left in books for people to follow through. Now, there are 3 assessment tools for today. Let's go to the word untapped. When you hear untapped, can you give me a synonym for untapped? I think I'm going to point like a young lady in the crowd. Just give me a synonym for untapped. Let's break the bias, right? Let's show the men we know the words. Untapped, a synonym. Oh, any courageous? Okay. Yes, he's pointing. Unused, awesome. Then give me another synonym for untapped. Never done. So dull also. Okay. Any takers here? Okay. So unused, never used. Unexploited, awesome. Vacant, free, dormant, idle, untried. These are all words that describe untapped. Now, what exactly is in an untapped mind? I'm going to assess it with 3 things. The foundation is on 3 things. 1, for you to move from an untapped mind to have that conscious awareness. First off, is building mental awareness. The first experience in experiencing a shift in mindset is having the humility and the awareness to admit the effort it requires to make the move. I mentioned alternatives for untapped. Trust me, if I were to point to one of you and say, you have a dormant mind, you feel offended, right? You think, why would you say that to me? But the truth is, it's always uncomfortable for us to even describe what our minds are filled of, how active our minds are, what thoughts we focus on, or what occupies our brains on a daily. If you look at the vast amount of power the mind has and the little we've done with it. There was a movie called Lucy. In that movie, it was an action movie. That was the first time I got to appreciate that, indeed, we are using just 10% of our brains. 10%. The average human person uses 10% of their brain capacity. So you can imagine if we could reach 50%, what our potential could be. And even with the 10%, the evolution of technology, innovation, education, things that have all made our lives more convenient, has come from somebody who's had that mental awareness that we need to create something that makes human advancement better. The natural consequence of having a mental power also has a physical correlation. Now, I'll give you an example, a personal example. In 2014, I was working in a bank. It's not far from here, actually. Give or take maybe 10 minutes away. I was a Legon branch of GCB, former Ghana Commercial Bank, right? I got to work one morning. I was so bored. I was just sitting there looking out the window, and the window was no view. It was a wall. So I look out of my window, and the view is a wall. And I was asking myself, am I going to be sitting here day in, day out, banking? People will bring money, you deposit into account, you balance, you go home. Like, what the monotony of it? I want something more. My manager at the time, she actually gave me advice. She said, Cozy, not everybody settles on one stream of income. Even in the bank, as a manager, she had 2 side hustles. She had a poultry farm and she distributed drinks. And that's for a branch manager. You think that branch manager, that's big bucks, right? So you don't put or apply your energy into anything. She said no. She had kids and she had already envisioned the future for them. And as time goes on, prices of things go up. So she needs to make that plan. At the time, I went online to see what I could do as an aside, okay, from banking, and had a conversation with a friend of mine. She's like, oh, you're always wearing nice things, so sell clothes. And I'm like, okay. So I started selling clothes, and it was a hit. But I only made money when, and this was before social media really got, active with Instagram and using it for easy convenience. The more money I made was when I was present, actively doing it, right? So were there ways of, making money while you're even sitting in the bank? So I Googled home-based businesses, because at which point I was like, look, I can't do this anymore. I want to quit banking. I Googled, and every business that came back was situated in America or the UK or somewhere, Singapore. So I was like, I'm giving up. I'm not researching this anymore. The following week, a young man comes to the bank, says he's come to do a presentation on food supplements. I'm like, okay. He needed just 10 minutes. His name was Kofi. Kofi, I'd actually seen him 4 months ago, getting married to my cousin. So him coming to the bank was like the second time I was seeing him. I said, hey, you're my brother-in-law, come. Let me call my colleagues. So he stands in front of us. 10 minutes, when he was done, everybody wanted what he had to sell. So I took the product, I went online, did my research. And I called him, I said, how are you doing this thing? He said, oh, the company's in East Legon, oh, trust me. If you want something on the side, this is it. I said, okay, tell me more about it. When I closed from work, he did. I signed up to the company. Mind you, I was already looking for an escape out of the bank, right? So I joined the company. In the first month, the manager of the company told me that I had hit a milestone in terms of sales, which was first ever globally in the 9 markets that they were in already. I was like, wow, this is going to be interesting. So does it make me a celebrity? And he laughed, right? Now, fast forward 4 months into it, I looked at what I was earning, and I wrote my resignation letter and gave it to my boss. Now, my boss said, I think you are making a mistake. And I said, no, I've been waiting for this opportunity all my life. Why should I commit myself time and energy and space when something I do part-time earns me more than I can ever imagine? But the question was the awareness that I needed something better, and also the conviction that if that were to show up, I would apply myself to it. Most of the time, we just think of how things can be better. We even love to go to church, and when the pastor says faith, we believe in it. But then when opportunities come, and they show up in the most unsexy of ways, quote unquote, we walk past. Because to us, success is easy, and just like Rosalind said, you see on social media, and you are convinced with the lifestyle and the flashiness and the clothes and the shoes of some of your favorite influencers, that all they do is just get up and look good and make money. If they were to tell you what was behind it. So they are living a dream that you will love to live. But the point is, you need to make that shift here for you to even recognize those opportunities available to you. The second bit of it is cultivating mindfulness. When we say mindfulness, and I guarantee you, if you should search any of your devices right now and search mindfulness, apps are going to pop up. You'd actually see an app called Calm. It's one of the top-ranked apps now. Oh, you've seen it. I've seen some not in the audience. So Calm is a way for you to relax your mind, for you to just calm down. And it's important, especially in the era we are in. Most young people have what we call a microwave mentality. They get into any venture, any even entrepreneurship gig, and expect to make millions within the first couple of months. And when it doesn't happen, they quit. Brian has been doing iYES for a couple of years now, and it's only getting better. Imagine that he did it the first time and said, oh, I don't like the results of it. But the results of it is the impact on young people sitting here like you today, who in the next couple of days are going to experience the shift that we're talking about. Now, in terms of thinking, how many of us actually made time to just think? In the same way you make time to eat food, you take time to shower, do you ever just sit down and think? You do that. If you do that, that's good. But most people don't. They just go through the day, they go through the meal, they wake up, they get ready, they go to work, they go to school, whatever it is. When the day ends, that's it. They don't even take account of what happened during the day. They don't even take account of whatever the goals or dreams or whatever visions they are, or if they are inching closer to it. Some people practice mindfulness through what we call meditation. For some people, that's a bit scary because it's not aligned to what their religious beliefs are. There are many people hear meditation. It's almost different to what they've learned in church. Other people practice mindfulness by going to church every Sunday, where they worship, where they confess their sins, where they make commitments again and start a new week, refreshed, revitalized, and ready to seize the day. We have all heard about law of attraction, I hope. Have you heard of law of attraction? Okay, so law of attraction essentially says that whatever consumes your thoughts is what you eventually get in life. Now, in 2006, I read a book called The Secret. When I read this book, it literally changed my perspective on things, in that the more positive an outlook you had in life, the better results for you. And you could literally see it play out. Have you seen people who constantly are negative, are cynical, see nothing good about anything? Do you know examples of that? People constantly complain. They are always blaming somebody else for their lot in life. When something happens, they never take responsibility. And when something bad comes in, they say, Semanka, vindicated that something bad happened. We have examples of this littered everywhere. What the secret says is that thoughts are things. Whatever occupies your mind, the more you think of it, the likelihood is that it will manifest in your life. Now, that shift happens today if you haven't heard of this ever before. Whatever consumes your thoughts, often whatever you're obsessed with, it's likely is going to play out in your mind. Now, if you think of these things, I'd give you an example of the Williams sisters. I just watched a movie based on their life where Venus and Serena Williams, at a young age, were told by their father that they were going to be the greatest tennis players ever. Now, what was unique about Richard, their dad, was he was so convinced in his mind. He had seen it, he had envisioned it, he had obsessed about it, but he didn't stop there. He took the girls training. They would practice hours every day. He actually marketed them to businessmen and said, invest in my children. Guess what? They are going to be the greatest ever. People laughed at him. People mocked him. To a point where he even got an opportunity to have a world best players coach train just one of his girls, and that was Venus. He couldn't get Serena to be coached for free. Why? Because he couldn't afford it. But he was convinced that she's going to be the greatest. And guess what? Venus became the first black female player to hit milestones in the history of tennis that no female had ever done. And I remember a section in the movie where the father said to Serena, when Serena was watching Venus play, that Venus is going to be the first and open the doors, but you are going to be the greatest of all time. I think it deserves a round of applause, honestly. Truth is, for most people, you might not have the parent, the guardian, the mother who sows hope, who makes you believe in your mind that you are capable of something great. Some of you do not have that outlet, all right? So what do you do if you do not have that figure that guides you on the path to make you believe that you are worth it and you are capable of doing great things? I'll link you to one of my favorite rappers of all time. I hope Pastor Brian will forgive me for introducing a rapper into the conversation. So Jay-Z. We all know Jay-Z, don't we? Now, Jay-Z, for the longest time in his career, would always talk about how his father abandoned him. But in talking about the hurt of his father abandoning him, he talked about how he learned greatness and wisdom from people who have attained heights, who had written books. So Jay-Z will talk about Rockefeller. If for the boys here, or for the young boys here, even the ladies should as well, look for a video on YouTube, The Men Who Built America. Literally young businessmen, entrepreneurs who had a vision of revolutionizing America. And these are the blueprints where successful people point out to what they see, what they read, what consumes their mind. So Jay-Z becomes successful. He's a billionaire, isn't he? His father wasn't. In fact, his mother wasn't rich either. He talks about being in the project, even selling drugs for a long time. But he made a shift in believing that he was great, and he was going to be great, and he obsessed over it. So the question is, the minute you become mindful of what you want to do, what it is you want to achieve, there's a tunnel-like, laser-like focus on it. You see how welders work, right? When a welder wants to put something together, they don't spray all over the surface. It's just like one area till it connects. And that's the laser-like focus and precision that you need. So at your young ages now, whatever you need to do and whatever you are going to focus on, the blueprint is there. You might not have your local icons, but there's the internet. You can search a world of information. People have done just that and are building platforms that are connecting you to people that you love to hear from, people that you love to be. There's literally no excuse for anything right now. Information is here. You don't even need to go to school to learn how to cater anymore. You go on YouTube and Sweet Ajele is teaching you Ghanaian foods and kwanchiwa. There's so much happening and it's so much easier now. An older uncle said, Kozi, really, you guys have it easier now than we did back in the day because there's no internet. There's no place for you to get access to information and whatnot. So the opportunities are available in as much as you think opportunities aren't. Our distinguished MP who just left said when people were complaining about opportunities, he created 3,500 jobs just for the constituents of Medina. So it's possible. Yeah, I think that we need to, let me see, okay, a little bit of time. Nobody has signaled me yet. Outperforming your self-image. We often think or believe in the feedback that we get. That's why I say if you're unfortunate to have a figure in your life that doesn't necessarily sow seeds of hope, doesn't speak true things into your life, is not positive, chances are you might believe the version of what they believe you are. In fact, one of the things, I remember school, way back in school, some of the teachers used to say harsh things to our fellow pupils. It's almost like a Ghanaian thing that, oh, it will toughen you up, you know. But you could literally hear a teacher tell the student that you are not going anywhere. You're always fooling, you're not going anywhere, right? Telling that to a kid is pretty traumatic. You were told that he's pointing to himself. So there are examples of what people say to you, but it shouldn't define you, because what it is that change in mindset, once you connect with the power that you have the opportunity to make you better, that your mind can actually create opportunities for you, it changes your life in the most amazing way. Now, Henry Ford. I think when we hear Henry Ford, our mind comes to cars, right? So Henry Ford was the one who said, whether you think you can or you cannot, you are right. Have you heard that quote before? Let's say it together. Whether you think you can or you cannot, you are right. Whether you think you can or you cannot, you are right. Henry Ford said this. Now, he was an American industrialist. He developed an assembly line of mass production for vehicles, okay? He's credited for changing the world of automobiles or cars. He said that if he had asked people back then what they wanted, okay, they would have said faster horses, right? Can you imagine a car and a horse? Don't put the fuel prices into context now and say you want to switch to us. Now, they would have preferred faster horses. Some would have even suggested, can we have a horse that doesn't eat? Can we have a horse that doesn't rest? But he then knew that, no, feedback in an innovation process could help or hurt. So in asking for feedback in what your vision is, you should be mindful not to sway from what you've envisioned it to be. So he said, you know what? I'm going to focus on this one thing. It's going to make cars, make better cars, and produce cars faster than anybody could. So instead of moving from horses to cars, the lesson here applies to the human mind. You cannot outperform your self-image or what your perception is to what you can believe. All right? Let me take that again. You visualize what it is you want to be. It might be that you've asked somebody a question of what that is, whether it's good for your future. And just for whatever reason, they say no. It is not for you to give up on that dream because that conception came to you and you alone. Often people abandon their dreams based on conversations they have with other people. It's happened multiple times. I'm sure Denta has her own experiences, and she's doing so well. People would dog, drop, shift focus just by one negative feedback. Honorable Sosu mentioned how he had run for elections multiple times and had lost. In fact, there was an MP that I won't mention his name. He also said Cozy, I ran for primaries. One time, I even got out of the room, and the people I thought had voted for me were laughing at me that he thinks he's going to be MP. Never. And he kept at it. He kept pushing. And now he won his primaries. He won the election in 2020. He's sitting in parliament. He's doing so well. So often, whatever views, whatever dreams you have, it just might be that one person, that naysayer, that will say, don't do it, and will disrupt your entire view and purpose. And that is not for you to give up. Once you've zoned in, once you've thought about it, to conceptualize it is enough. There are a lot of people who fail to even think of what they want to do or what their future even holds. My daughter at 10 years, I asked her, what do you want to be in life? And she says, a doctor. And she says, do you know you've asked me this 6 years straight? And I said, oh, really? He's like, yes. You asked me this when I was 4 years old. And I said, a doctor. You asked me when I said I was 5 years, when I was 5 years old. And I said, a doctor. And I even told you that what's better than curing people of illnesses? So why do you keep asking me? I said, I just want to be sure you are focused on that vision, you know. So even for her, I know that once she's locked it in, it's for me as a parent to assist her on what she's truly passionate about. If she changes her view along the way, as a parent, it will be for me to encourage. Most of you might not have that figure in your life that sows the seed, that gives you the mind shifts for you to believe and for you to be an agent of change, for you to realize your true purpose of impacting lives or helping people. Sitting in the audience today is a young person who's going to do amazing in the field of medicine. It's going to happen. There are young lawyers sitting in the audience. There are young entertainers sitting in the audience. All of you are destined for such great things, but it's important for you to start focusing on what that is by making that mental shift. Most important is walking in the steps. What training tools, what seminars are you going to put yourself to? What YouTube videos are you going to be watching? There's so much in terms of distractions right now in the world. Look, and as much as you're watching a good educational tool, YouTube is going to show you an ad where it takes you off what you are even learning. And before you realize, you've clicked on it and you're off your course completely. I think that this seminar, in the next 3 days, is going to be really extremely powerful. As you're sitting here, tell your other friends, colleagues to tune in. As I said before, some of the things I've heard today and what I know now, I wish I'd heard when I was much younger. Now, in conclusion, since Pastor Brian is here, let me end with a not so popular background story of a donkey. A baby donkey is called what? Okay, it's actually a goat. A colt. That's true. And some people say an ass, but it's not convenient where I'm standing right now. So let's just say a baby donkey. So somewhere in 80 BC, a rich young merchant owned a donkey. This donkey served as a beast of burden, would carry loads. Its sole purpose was to carry the produce from the wealthy merchant's farms all the days of its life. Over time, the donkey gave birth to another donkey, a baby donkey. And as the donkey became of age, he asked his mother, so what is my future going to be like? And he said, well, you see this load I'm carrying. When you become of age, this is what you are also going to be doing. Now, you take my place, you carry the load, and you serve the merchants just as I have. The donkey died, and the baby donkey took over. The baby donkey, just true to what its mother had said, continued to carry this load from the farms and to help the rich merchants. Now, it literally became the heir of destiny, because that's what his mother had told it. Our destiny is to carry these loads. In its 7th generation, one particular donkey was waiting its turn to also start the journey of carrying loads. This donkey was tied to a tree, and out of nowhere, 2 men came out and said, well, it's time for you to go. Now, the merchant who was just around the corner said, where are you taking the donkey to? The men replied, the Lord needs it. And that was the donkey Jesus rode into Jerusalem. Now, just like that, regardless of your generational history, regardless of what your past has been, you should leave here with a mind shift. A shift in the perception of what your mind could be, a shift in how you can reimagine your life, and most importantly, a shift in cultivating mindfulness and a shift in performing and outperforming your self-image. Tap the power of your mind. Thank you so much. God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, Madam Akosia Kozimenu. You can't go yet. You can't go yet. We have some time. We need to interact with some of the people here. Some people might have some questions that they'll need some answers to. So we have about 10 minutes to ask questions. If you have any question, kindly raise your hand. We'll bring the microphone to you and she'll answer the question. Any question. So I took a point, and my point is, if you can or you cannot, you're right. It's so true, because anytime we say to ourselves, we cannot do something, we are right, we don't do it. But when we tell ourselves we can, we stay focused, we don't lose guard, we definitely achieve it. So that's what I've taken from this. So please, if you have any question, Akosia is here to answer your questions. KMJ is right there with the microphone as well.
I think I just want to say this. I want us to appreciate. She is the Deputy CEO of the National Youth Authority. Please just clap your hands for. And NYA has been of help. They've been supporting the event since 2018, 2019, and this year too, we reached out to them and they have provided their support. But I think whilst you're here as the Deputy CEO, a lot of people don't know what the NYA. People don't even know what NYA stands for. Some people might think it stands for Nanaya or Ajiman or something. But I want you to tell us, like, National Youth Authority. These are young people. A lot of people are watching online via all platforms. What do you do? Can people just walk to your office? What help, what services do you provide? Thank you.
There were two questions, though, two hands up. So, yes, the MC's going
to... All right. Let me get here. Okay, give me a minute. Let the lady talk first.
So quickly, what the National Youth Authority is we are mandated to, in simple terms, enhance the creative potential of the youth. We are supposed to imbue in the youth a sense of propriety, of patriotism, and also of civic responsibility. What we are is to focus on everything that involves the youth. And when we say youth, 15 to 35 years, no football ages, please, covers the ages of 15 to 35. Currently, we have working on a youth volunteer program, which I would love for all of you to find a module in there that you'd give back somewhat to our country. And you don't even have to wait to get to national service to do that. Now, we also provide training programs. So just like Pastor Brian is doing, when you have a program of this sort, which impacts the youth and leaves them better off than they are, walking to our offices, we'll listen to you, we'll guide you. If we can't even support you with finances, we'll point you out to the various stakeholders that could support you. What we also have going on currently is a targeted focus on making sure that we enhance the entrepreneurship skills of youth. There are young people who want to go into entrepreneurship and they are not sure how to go about it. We in our offices are tapping right into Youth Starts, which you have heard from government unrolling in the last couple of weeks to enable young people get into business and push the country forward and create opportunities for themselves and for other people to resolve somewhat the issues of unemployment. So these are some of the things that we engage in, mostly trainings and programs.
The first question from the audience.
Thank you very much. Please, my name is Lydia, and my question is, as youth, when at times we want to explore more on our field of study and other stuff, we do not get the opportunities from people who are already there to encourage or to talk to us. So as youth, at that point, what do we do?
Okay, so you're saying that there's a field of focus you have, but you do not have mentors. You can't find the mentors. Okay, so...
Or we do not get the opportunity to even meet the people.
Yes. What I acknowledge is that somewhat there seems to be a deficit of mentors or a willingness by certain people who've walked a certain path to help others. Whatever the personal reasons are, I do not think, however, that you need the physical presence of a mentor. I'll give you an example. When I first heard the book, The Secret, it was through watching Oprah. And everything Oprah said on mindfulness, on visualization, on owning your future or becoming great, I followed. I might not ever meet her, but she's impacted my life. So in whatever field you're looking for, there could be somebody who is not even in Ghana, but has put their life's work online. Now people are doing YouTube videos, like I mentioned, and it's a wealth of information. Some have written books. Unfortunately, you might not have that example here locally, but you can go on Amazon and check. So there's literally nothing where you'd come up short. You might find the local example not lacking, but the international example will be there. And then you, when you achieve your dream, would make sure that you leave that blueprint as a Ghanaian for others to follow. I hope that answers your question.
Good morning. This might be a little bit off topic, but I feel like you'd be in the best position to answer it. About a year ago, there came a situation where I had to give out the remote. It was in the hall, and then there was a man and a woman there. And the first thought that came into my mind is that give it to the man, because between a man and a woman, the man should take the remote. That's when I realized how bad the gender bias is, because the fact that this even came to my mind is because that was what was written into me. So ever since then, I've made it my job that whenever I have the opportunity to just speak for women and speak as an advocate for women, I would, because of the kind of bond I have with my mother. Mm-hmm. And also, one time I was having a conversation with somebody, and then they made the comment that no serious nation should ever employ a woman as a Secretary of Defense. And I decided to actually think through it. You would know better than anyone how hard it is to earn the respect of men when being put in charge. So if a woman has been able to rise through the ranks of the military, it means she has worked 7 times harder than anyone else. So if a woman is being put in charge as Secretary of Defense, it means she deserves it over and above, over and above. So I'm just saying that as a married woman, how do you balance being the submissive, obedient wife while still maintaining the feminist empowerment and I don't need a man to validate my existence? That's what I'm trying to say. I hope everybody understands. To know the balance between being the submissive wife and also being the opinionated 21st century woman who is going to be an example to your children. Thank you.
I was actually going to say, let's clap for him because...
I think, can you tell us how many children do you have?
I have 2 children. So I have 2. An 11-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl. Now, what I find most intriguing is for him to have the self-awareness without anybody telling him that somewhat he had discriminated or he had become biased. And for him to actually make the resolution that I'm going to be more pro-woman. I will tell you this. It is difficult for women in leadership spaces in this country and even the world as a whole. More often than not, when women are given the opportunity, it's the opportunity not necessarily to see them succeed. It's almost to see that something might happen so that we would say that when we gave it to her, see what happened. Now, when women even find themselves at the table, they just might be the single sole female voice in the room. The men outnumber them. It's a boys' club as against a female. Now, you don't even have a colleague in the same space for you to share those problems with. One of the things that I believe that we need to be mindful of is that as much as we want to be feminists, as much as we want to preach that women can do it, we can't do it without the men. The men are our allies. So it's for as many men as him to say, you know what, let me hold your hand. Let's walk through the door. You become a security top official, like you said. If a female gets to that point, give her all the respect and all the acknowledgement. You know, you mentioned submission, and it's not to even take it into my personal life. I would say that where respect thrives, submission is easy. Where respect thrives, I acknowledge that whatever you're saying is not just based on your gender. I respect your opinion, irrespective of the fact that you're wearing a skirt. I respect your opinion, irrespective of the Brazilian hair you have on your head. I believe that the brain you have, the mind shift you're experiencing, adds value to whatever conversations we have. So when there's respect, submission is a given, you know. So if balancing submission and work, and relationships, often it's a two-way thing, and people define what the parameters are in their relationship. So you, for instance, you're talking about passing a remote. It's a simple act, but then it came to mind that why did I give it to the man? I'm telling the man to control what shows on the television, whereas the woman would want to watch something else. So I think that when we put respect above anything else, next is love. I tell people I appreciate respect more than love. Why? Because people will say, I love you unconditionally and still hurt you. But when people respect you, it's different how they deal with you, because I will not lower the standard for you. I've placed you on a certain pedestal, and that's where I'm going to keep you. So let's just respect each other, irrespective of the gender, and let's break the bias just as you have, by being the voices for the women who can't even speak up. There are young girls who go into certain spaces, and even culturally, I just came, I took a tour last week. I went to the north, and I was meeting a group of young people, and when they were coming into the room, the men led. So I saw 8, 9. I was like, where are the women? Like, and they're like, oh, the women are behind them. It's a cultural thing, right? They were happy to go through that process, but when the meeting began, the women were very assertive, and I like that. So we can balance it out. You can have your 15 seconds of fame walking into the room, but I'll call the shots when it comes to the conversation, right? So long as we ultimately respect each other.
Thank you so much, Madam Akosia Menu. Thank you. She is, yes, we are done, right? Oh, we have another question. I think that will be the last question before we let her leave.
Oh.
Okay, unfortunately, we don't have enough time. But Madam Akosia Menu will be here, so you can speak to her after the event. Thank you so much. We are super grateful. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you. And she is the Deputy CEO of NYA. Please show her more love. Show her more love. I'll invite my co-MC to take us over. And, okay, so we'll have the second one. All right. So we'll hold on to our performances, and we'll have our second speaker come up. But before that, Pastor Brian has something to say.
All right. I want us to appreciate the presence of the Vice Chancellor of this wonderful university. Professor, please, I think he needs a standing ovation. Rise with your feet. Let's appreciate the Vice Chancellor, Professor Abednego. Please clap your hands. Thank you, sir, for allowing us into this beautiful auditorium. Kindly take your seat, Amy. All right. Thank you. Yes. All right, so I'm going to introduce a wonderful person, and I wanted to hear this first. Dental Moatin is a British Ghanaian entrepreneur, TV presenter, producer, manager. She was awarded an MBE in the 2016 birthday honors, and in 2017 she received the Ghana Peace Awards Humanitarian Service in Accra. In mid-September of 2020, she was appointed by the Asante Kotoko as their international relations manager. As an actress, she appeared on British TV shows including EastEnders, before moving into presenting, hosting television programs on British Ghanaian TV, including the Denta Show. Denta is an advocate for the Ghanaian community in the UK, and in 2017, she was put on the list of 100 most outstanding women entrepreneurs. I think you have to clap your hands for that. In 2009, she founded the Ghana UK-based Achievements Awards, which recognize the achievements of individuals and organizations positively contributing to the Ghanaian community in the UK or Ghana. In 2011, she was named in the Future 100 Awards as a Young Social Entrepreneur of the Year for her work with Guba. And last week was her birthday, so we decided to get her a little cake and just sing a happy birthday. So can you please get me the cake right now? Whilst this wonderful band, I need the cake in 1 minute, please. Whilst this wonderful band will just give us a wonderful birthday. Okay, let's go. I would like to call the Vice Chancellor to join me. I know you don't like that, but I can do that to you. And of course, the Deputy CEO to please join us so that we just cut this cake for Denta. Please clap your hands, everybody. Clap your hands. Can I get someone to hold it? Clap your hands. Don't get tired. Okay, thank you. Sorry over there. Okay. So, just for the wonderful work you've been doing for the whole nation and putting Ghana on the map, we want to say God bless you. And okay, wish you a happy, belated happy birthday. Please clap your hands in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Clap your hands and make some noise. Thank you.
When I wake up, I praise his name because it's because of God that I stand where I stand today. So if you believe in God, and you believe that whatever you want to achieve, you can, then I suggest that you sing this song with me. Are you going to sing it? Because he has done it and he will continue to do it for you. Can you feel the presence of God? Uyo nyame, nyame, nyame. Uyo nyame, nyame, nyame. Oh na obostronia sase. Oh na uboni mudi pena. Ansano dikane. Oh gracias por eso mo. Thank you, Father. Thank you, choir. Thank you, the band. It's been a journey. You can all sit down. Thank you. God has been good, and I'll always praise his name. Now, this iYES has been something that me and Pastor Brian have been trying to get the right date so that I can come and speak. And I think that today was the day that God has made. And so I'm here. And I think also that we need to check the Amwating, know whether there's some linkage, because I'm Mrs. Amwating. So, and I'm not married to him, but he could be, there could be a linkage there. Mind shift, the topic for today. I'm going to talk about my journey and infuse it with the topic and the theme. So, I was born in Draso, Asante Achim. And at the age of 1, my parents left to the UK. And at the age of 5, they decided to come and get me to go and join them in the UK. And only about a month ago, my auntie was like, Denta, every time you do a speech, you always talk about, how you were raised in Draso, but you always leave the choco out. You were raised in choco. When your parents left, I took you, and we lived in a house in Choco. And I only spoke Ga at the time. So I left, I joined my parents, and my parents only spoke Chi. And so the mind shift started then. I had to readjust and learn Chi. One thing that my parents always said is that if you had it, you beka Chi, ukwa bontia, ubetimaka, French, Spanish, the opesobe can be obitimaka be fear hadie. You have to learn your culture and your language. When I started school, it was difficult because me bana ye tramiti. And I remember it was winter. And all I knew to eat was bordeni kontomre. That was my favorite food. When I went to school, they were giving me burger. I've never had burger before. What's burger? And I remember that I would eat the bread and leave the meat inside because I didn't know what it was. The journey was difficult because at a young age, at the age of 9 years old, I started my period as a young girl. And so that knocked a lot of confidence in me growing up as a child because I was a very sporty person. And so sometimes when I do sports and I'm on my period, I'll be leaking. And so every single time I'll be crying. I was like, Mommy, why? Why have I started this thing so early? I didn't get it. Until I found this person who encouraged me. A young friend of mine, Jeanette, was like, don't worry. Wear 2 knickers. She gave me solutions all the time. Look, in this world, there's nothing more powerful as a changed mind. You can change your clothes, your hair, your nails, your address, your spouse, your residence. But if you don't change your mind, you'll be in the same situation over and over again. She was changing my mind. She was making me more confident because I was scared of going to school. Now, as I mentioned, I was very sporty. And when I was growing up, I thought I was going to be an athlete because I was running for England at a young age. And you know Ghanaian parents, is either you have to be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse. And so my dad encouraged me to be a nurse. Actually, he asked me, what else apart from singing and dancing and this sports that you want to do? And I said, I love children. And he said, okay, so what about doing a pediatric nurse? And I said, okay. But whilst doing that, I was still doing what I love. I was still singing, I was still acting, and I was building and shaping who I was. When I was doing my nursing, I found out that I was dyslexic. So, dyslexic is sometimes... Does anybody know what dyslexic is? Put your hands up if you know what dyslexic is. Okay, there's a few people. It's good to learn about it because as I was growing up, and sometimes I would read to my parents, because what bon, want me read the idea no? Say. And all of these things really can affect your children. So if you pick up that there's an issue with their reading or the way they write, please go and check it out. So sometimes, even with my own date of birth, 13th March 1983, sometimes I write 1938. So sometimes you mix your words, you mix up your sentences. And I had to do my maths test to pass my nursing degree. I did my maths test 10 times because I kept on mixing the numbers. And the last time the university was like, Denta, this is your last try. If you don't pass, I'm afraid you can't pass your nursing. And that night I prayed, I was like, God, I need to pass these exams. I need to make my parents proud. I need to do this. And I got 10 out of 10 in the maths. Whatever you put your mind to, no matter the illness or the challenge that you have, if you believe, you can achieve. That's the first lesson for today. Now, as I was doing, so fast forward, as a senior nurse, I went as a nurse. I qualified at the age of 21 as a pediatric nurse. Quickly, in 6 months, I was a senior nurse. I was managing the ward. And in 2009, after me and my husband had our first child a year before, we were sitting down watching TV. And we saw these amazing Ghanaians, amazing people. And my husband said, there's no platform to celebrate our own. There's no platforms for young people to connect and say that this could be my role model. And so we set up the Gooba Awards, which at the time was Ghana UK-based Achievement Awards, but now is Grow, Unite, Build Africa. So Gooba started in a living room. Sometimes God puts things in our minds, gives us new ideas, and we have to fulfill it. But you have to know, He gives you opportunities, but you have to know when it is an opportunity. So, started Gooba. I called up a few friends, which I knew were in different fields. So one was in marketing, admin, communication. Because sometimes when you're given a seed, you cannot grow the seed alone. You need people to be able to help you and nurture the idea. As I was doing Gooba, raising sponsorship, we got a lot of no's when I went to sponsorship meetings. People didn't believe in the brand, they didn't understand the brand. And my husband said, let's sell our car. If we really believe in this Gooba Awards, let's sell the car. And so we sold our car and did the Gooba Awards. Sometimes you have to learn that you might have to give something up to enable you to get to the vision. Do you understand? Sometimes you have to sacrifice something for you to be able to get to the next level. Gooba, the first event, was sold out 3 weeks to the event. We had Osibisa, we had the Ghana Black Stars, we had Channel 4, we had BBC. It was just incredible. And that was all out of belief. Whilst I was doing Gooba, as I said, I was doing my nursing. So I decided to do night shifts so that during the day, I can do the Gooba stuff. How badly do you want what it is that you are going for? I didn't sleep because the night shift, as soon as I finish at 8 in the morning, I rush home, I take my son to school, I come and I start writing proposals, I start making phone calls and getting that sponsorship. Look, success is hard work. Like Cozy said, like Rosalind said, it looks glam on social media, but the tears, the sacrifice, the lows of not having even money to do things that you want to do. because you sacrificed into this seed. That mind shift. How badly do you want it? What do you want? Have you figured that one out first? Then I said to myself, Guba, I want a president to come. I want somebody big. I want an MP to come. I want somebody. And I remember I wrote to Tony Blair at the time. And I was like, want you to come to the awards. This is what it's about. It's celebrating British Ghanaians that are doing well. And I think your office should be able to come and attend. And he wrote a letter back. Sometimes you think that something is so far away, but it's so close. When you try, you have to give it a try. When I got the letter, I was like, whoa, Tony Blair wrote me back? Like, onim dentawe, onim gubawe. You have to try. I stand here today because I didn't give up. I kept on trying. One day, some of you sitting here are going to be up here speaking because you tried. And now your story is going to impact on somebody that's sitting down. So he wrote back and he said, this is an amazing awards. Unfortunately, I can't attend, but I'm going to send my wife, Sherry Blair. And she came and she was like, oh, this is great, She came, but I can only stay for 30 minutes, have other engagements. I said, no problem at all. Please take a seat. She stayed for the whole event. Because once she knew and what she saw, the excellence that we delivered, the people that were honored, the people that were celebrated, she had no choice but to stay. Fast forward. Guba 2019 was our 10th year anniversary. And I said to my team, guys, let's do Guba in the US. And let's rebrand. I know Ghana's our home, but let's go for Africa. Let's reward Africans. We're all black. We need unity. So that's when Grow, Unite, Build Africa came about. We've never done an awards in the US. I don't even know a lot of people in the US. And we decided to do it during the UN General Assembly. We wrote letters and we confirmed 6 African presidents to attend the Guba Awards. Now, the budget for the UN, I had no idea that everything is triple expensive during the UN General Assembly. And so I had to raise $300,000. I said, God, how am I going to get this money? I sent my team 4 days to the event. The day before the event is when I took the last money to the US. Because I believed that it was going to happen. I believed that I was going to get that sponsorship money. You have to think positive and you have to think big. But as you're thinking big, you take little steps to get there. The Guba Awards in the US was one of the best that we've had. I know sometimes a lot of you come to these events and you're like, oh God, when am I going to get there? I get a lot of emails. How can I be like you, Denta? No. How can you be you and do what you love? Look, our minds is split up into two: positive and negative. Positive and negative. Which one do you want to go for? In 2016, I got a letter. Dear Denta Amwating, the Majesty, the Queen, would like to honor you for the work that you've been doing. And I was blown away. I was like, me, that came from Jaso, just had a little idea. And the Queen wants to honor me. You don't know who is watching you. You don't know who you are inspiring. So whatever you do, do with excellence. Do it with your heart. And always do the right thing. That moment was a great moment in my life. Going to Buckingham Palace to receive my MBE. With my children, my 4 children by my side. And they were inspired. How do you inspire somebody else through your journey? We all have an effect on people. And I also believe that for us, we should be more patriotic. Talking to the youth now and everybody in the room. Let's love ourselves. Let's love Ghana. Even our names, the names that we give ourselves, so important. You won't go to the UK and hear a white person name their child Abna. Will you? So why use their names to name your children? For us to start loving each other and changing our mindset, we must love our names. I love Nigerians so much. Nigerian, their names are Oyolode, Ogbogbogboba, da da da. It means God's grace. The mindset that we are talking about starts from here. It starts from how we nurture our children and speak to our children and pour affirmations into our children. We need more Akosias, we need more Abanas, we need more whatever Ewe names we have, we need all of them. Let's start appreciating wearing made in Ghana. Let's start appreciating what we have. Because once we do, the Ghana we want to see will be amazing. And it starts with all of us. I have 4 children. I have Nokware. I have Adansie. I have Eria. And I have Eniji. Even with that, when they're introduced, they will ask them, where's your name from? It's from Ghana. That alone, a chain tourism. What does it mean? The truth. Your powerful names, oh. we have to start using them. Now, lastly, before I go, there's something I want to read. What God will bring you in overcoming poverty is not money, but opportunities. Yankopon fa sika be show nsemo. But all the opportunities beba. But are you ready to see the opportunity? Are you ready to see the opportunity? Are you ready to be confident enough to go for it, for your dreams? Nelson Mandela said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Sometimes we have visions and we think it's out of our reach, but it's not. You can achieve it. You can break that barrier. How many of you wake up in the morning and have affirmations? What do you say to yourself when you wake up in the morning after your prayer? Affirmations are so important. What you visualize is so important. I have a mood board in the house. Back in the UK, we had put the house that we wanted to live in, the car that we wanted to drive, the schools that we wanted our children to go to. And we've been able to achieve it because we see it every single day. Start having a board of where you want to go, where you want to be, who you want to see. And trust me, the more you see it, the more you affirm it, it will happen. There's nobody that I can say, when I say I want to meet them, I don't meet them. And yet, juju. It's sheer confidence and belief in myself. To the young ladies, be more confident. Be more assertive. You can do it. Thank you.
Oh, you can do better. Put your hands together. That's beautiful dental for you. We're going to take our questions. 2 questions. 2. Who's going to be first? First question, where? Hey. Are you scared of asking her a question? You're scared? You're not scared of asking a question. So what's the question you want to ask? Those at the top. Do you have a question? What is this? You're waiting or you don't have a question? There's someone, yeah?
Okay, I think we have 2 hands up there.
All right, where? Up there? My goodness. How do I get up? Throw it. You buy microphone. If I throw it, you buy it. How do I get up? I go out, right? Okay, let's do this. Please wait for me. Finally, I made it to the top. Make some noise for me, yeah? After asking the question, you buy me calipo.
Thank you. Please, I want to ask, sometimes you are a student, you are learning, you have a dream, and you want to achieve it, but you have a lot of people around you who keep on saying you can't make it, and those kind of bad words who breaks your vim down. Such things, how do you overcome them? Thank you.
Thank you. Such things, you block them out of your mind. Those are distractions.